Today I'm back at one of the towers overlooking meadowland on the side of Tapsalao River here in Hoi Ka Keng Wildlife Sanctuary, and once again I'm able to film a herd of banteng. But I've never had them this close to me before. I'm absolutely holding my breath here at this point because these animals have acute hearing and an acute sense of smell. And it's quite a humbling experience, actually, when you're around truly wild animals, to think that they can smell you, and sometimes you have to take measures to help prevent that. I have in the past collected dung, including banteng dung and elephant dung, and put it around where I'm sitting, or even on my clothes, to try to disguise my own smell. Anyway, these ones seem to be very relaxed and just carrying on grazing and browsing their way through this meadow. We've had a bit of rain recently. This is July, and it's been raining. As I say, you can see the meadow is reasonably green. It'll get a lot more lush than this over the next few months. What a gorgeous little herd this is. Beautiful coloration on these animals. They all look very strong and healthy. A lot of young ones and juvenile animals. What I haven't seen so far is a big mature male. I filmed another herd near here recently that had two huge mature males in it. The alpha, as it were, being quite dark in color, getting on towards black. As you see, these banteng all have the same 4 white socks and the white coloration on the rump. That's very characteristic of this species. You might have seen it as well for anyone who's traveled in Indonesia, Bali for example. The domestic cattle there are bred from banteng, and there are other forms of cattle elsewhere in Southeast Asia and Asia that were either directly bred from banteng or hybrids with other forms of cattle. If you look closely at the horns of these animals, you will see 2 basic types. The female horns are much closer together on the head and scimitar shaped along their length and end up in a curve pointing back towards one another, whereas the male horns are much wider set and tend to slope outward first before beginning to curve back a bit at the tip and end up pointing upwards rather than back in towards the tip of the other horn. Here we see a male. 2 males actually. The one further back is a more mature one. His face is starting to go darker, and there's those wide set horns. This one also in the foreground is a male, a younger one. Isn't it just wonderful to see them behaving this natural way, seeking out the food that they want? The value of this meadowland just cannot be overstated. The variety of plants that's there, the grasses, the little herbs and shrubs that allows these animals therefore to select the food that they want to eat. Here we are again, the most mature of the males that I was able to see in this herd. Again, they're looking perfectly relaxed, so that's making me feel very good. Just to give you some impression of how I'm filming this, I'm up in a lookout tower that was constructed here some years ago, and I've put camouflage netting around where I'm sitting, so I can stand behind that and the cattle can't see me. And then I've cut a slit in the netting through which my camera is projecting. Here's a female, the very typical scimitar-shaped horns of a female. And she is really coming very close indeed towards where I'm sitting. This is so exciting for me. I've seen banteng many times, but to have them come this close is truly wonderful. Of course, this is Hoi Ka Keng Wildlife Sanctuary. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Amongst many of the very special things about this place is the fact that we have all three of the large wild cattle species living here in the one park. That is these banteng, gaur, which I've also filmed, but not recently, and that's on my target list to try to get so that I can put up a clip of gaur in the future. And there are also wild water buffalo. The last population in Thailand is also found here. So all three of the cattle species.